Hello, everyone, and welcome to Daily Space. I'm your host, Annie Wilson, and yeah, things and stuff. So I'm trying to get everything all lined up just so. So, we have a couple stories today, and as always, because it's me hosting, we're going to talk about space and spacecrafty things. So, let's get started. So, I'm going to start off with, there's not a whole lot of launches between now and Wednesday, the next time I host. And dogs are not in your spot. Go get in your spot. Go get in your spot. So there's not a lot of launches between now and next Wednesday. So it's going to be kind of late on that front, but we have some updates. And updates are always good. So yes, let's get started, shall we? Alright, first up. The launch, the one and only launch that is happening between now. No! Bad! Why? I am so sorry. No one panic! That was my phone. Okay, here's to hoping it doesn't ring again. No one panic, that was my phone. In fact, let's start over because I can't even. No, I don't know what it is, but it shouldn't have gone off. Okay, so, hi! Welcome to Daily Space. I am your host, Annie Wilson, and today we're going to talk about space stuff. Well, to be more specific, launches and stuff and happenings and things, because it's me. Alright, let's get started. So, there's only one launch between now and next Wednesday, the next time I do Daily Space again. And that is the ChinaSat 6 Charlie communication satellite. The launch is Saturday, March 9th at 16:30 UTC. No live video is expected, so I won't be streaming this launch. As always, if you know of a live video source for the China launch, please tell me. Ping me in Discord. Email me if you know my email address. Like, hit me up on Twitter. Like, seriously, tell me and I will try to cover it. No promises, but if I know about it and there's video, we'll cover it. So, I'm really not expecting this to happen for two reasons. One, China doesn't have a habit of broadcasting live launches. They don't. That's not what they do. They'll have video of it later. And maybe if there's video, we'll watch it. Two, the second session of the 13th National People's Congress is in session. And every Chinese news site I visited, like from Sunday into today, was just plastered with coverage. Plastered. So refresher, the National People's Congress is considered the world's largest parliamentary body with over 2,500 members. I think the number is actually close to 2,900. Yes, that's nearly 3,000 people of a legislative body. And they meet every year for just 2 weeks. And the reason why it's called the second session is that they're elected once every 5 years, everybody all at the same time. So last year's session was the first session of the 13th National People's Congress, and this year's the second session, and next year will be the third session, so on and so forth. So yeah, all the news in China right now is focused on that, and not so much for this little communication satellite. So it is a little communication satellite that's going up. I couldn't find a really good picture, so the closest I have is that it will look like ChinaSat 6 Alpha, which is the one I'm circling here with my cursor. It is on a Delta Foxtrot Hotel -4 bus, for those geeks of you out there that are wondering. We powered by be powered by solar panels and whatnot. But yeah, this is a communications satellite. China launches a lot of these. And by communication, I mean it's a, excuse me, it's a television/radio satellite. China has made it a point to ensure the entire country has television services. Satellite is one of the best ways to do this because of the varied terrain and the fact that China is, well, a very large country. Plus, China has the added bonus of launching rockets, which gave and continues to give them value experience for future space missions. So that's cool. But yeah, that's all I really have about China's launch on Saturday. So next up is this beautiful, beautiful picture that SpaceIL shared on their Twitter, and then Ambius of our community was awesome enough to share it on Discord. Also, if you're not on our Discord, join our Discord because some of the edits Ambius made to this image were just amazing. So, a little update on Beresheet, SpaceIL's lunar lander, which, to refresh your memory, this will make Israel the 4th country to have a soft landing on the moon. And this is Israel's first soft landing on the moon, and this will be the first commercial mission to have a soft land on the moon. You might be able to see a continent here. It looks a little funky because Beresheet was in the process of turning. Also, you know, Earth is a globe, so things don't always look the same. But if you can see the continent there, it's Australia. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. They had a small hiccup on February 26th, where the computers reset during a pre-maneuver phase, but all seems well and the spacecraft is healthy. And today, Beresheet had another successful maneuver and happily is on its way to the planned elliptical orbit, which will take it 270,000 kilometers away from Earth. As a reminder, it's taking a bunch of elliptical orbits around the Earth to get to the moon. And I can't remember which elliptical orbit this is because they are gradually getting bigger, but it's essentially getting further away from the Earth, which is a good thing because it's taking the slow train to the moon, which is also good because soft landings are important. So, there you go. Alright, so our next update. This is the image of the Soyuz rocket carrying EgyptSat-A going vertical. It launched February 21st. I didn't cover this launch because there was no live video. We talked about it previously when I hosted Daily Space. It had a non-nominal moment in flight. The third stage acted up. This actually pushed back the OneSpace. It pushed back one of the Ariane space launches because they used the same rocket. So, but don't panic. Everything turned out okay. What happened is that the third stage shut down 6 seconds earlier than it should have, leaving the satellite 60 kilometers lower than it needed to be. So, how it happened is human error. The amounts of kerosene fuel and liquid oxygen needed were literally flipped in some documentation. So there was too much fuel, too much kerosene, and not enough oxidizer, literally the liquid oxygen. And you need the oxidizer, the liquid oxygen, so that the fuel, the kerosene, will burn. So they had more than enough oxidizer to burn up all the fuel they had. They literally did not have enough fuel to make it go that last 60 kilometers. So for the geeks of you out there curious, it should have been 15.7 tons of liquid oxygen and 7.2 tons of rocket propellant 1. how it's been corrected. So, first of all, they've already put in additional measures for the future to make sure that this documentation error doesn't happen again. This is a really minor error that had humongous consequences. And, but there was an additional upper stage, which is this lovely image from Russian Space Web. There's an additional upper stage called the frigate, I believe. It's spelled Foxtrot Romeo Echo Golf Alpha Tango. Forget. This is just essentially another additional upper stage, and its onboard computers got the error that the third stage ran out of fuel because, hey, humans set up technology to throw off error codes. Something's not working, says the third stage. Frigate goes, cool, I got you. So, frigate checked its propellant levels, did the math, separated itself automatically from the third stage, and placed the satellite where it needed to be. So, yay humans! Yay humans for, like, planning for this to actually happen. So, frigate did exactly its job. It totally, needs to have more recognition, and it got the satellite where it needs to be, and it's operating nominally. So, yeah. Yeah, that's super cool. And this is a big deal because the previous 2 satellites that Russia has launched for Egypt haven't succeeded. One fell out of orbit, and one just stopped responding. So, yeah, in case you didn't know, satellite and launch insurance were a thing, and this EgyptSat-A was paid for by satellite insurance. And all went well, and Egypt should now have an operating, satellite, which is good. Okay, so, next. This picture makes me immensely happy. Okay, so this is Anne McClain hanging out with the super high-tech zero-G indicator that went up in the Dragon space capsule. I have wanted a picture of the plushy Earth inside the ISS from the moment I knew it was going up. And I found this picture this morning, and it made me so freaking happy. Okay, but there's actual news involved in this. So, why is Anne McClain trying on her suit? She's getting ready for an all-female spacewalk later this month. I believe on the 29th. So NASA astronauts Anne McClain and Christina Koch? Kilo Oscar Charlie Hotel. I'm sorry if I slaughtered your name. Yeah, they suit up on the 29th. Guess what? The support team is female too. They will be supported by Canadian space agencies. Kristen, oh Jesus. Facciol? Shh, I know, I can't pronounce her name. That's Foxtrot Alpha, Charlie, India, Oscar, Lima on console. NASA's Mary Lawrence acting as the lead flight director, and Jackie Cagey as the EVA flight controller. So, yeah! Larry Weird and Proud is asking if Christian is from... Christian is from the US. No, she's from the Canadian Space Agency. So, a NASA spokesperson shared that the spacewalk was originally planned for the fall. So, we're doing it months early. And it was not orchestrated to happen this way. It is just a happy coincidence that this all-female spacewalk is occurring during International Women's Month. So, yeah, they didn't plan for it to happen, but it's happening and it's amazing. So, Anne McClain's already on the ISS, and Christina goes up Gosh, next week? Yeah, next week. Christina goes up on March 14th. And this is my favorite part about that launch. March 14th, they take off at 3:14 Eastern Time. So we have 3:14 on 3:14. So yeah, Pi Day. Christina will be joining Anne on the ISS on Pi Day. So yeah, that's all of the spacecraft and launch news I have for you today. I do not know if they intended for the rocket to launch at 3:14 p.m. on 3:14, but I am immensely happy by this. So, hey, Keeper of Maps, thanks for the bits. As Tinker comes trotting out, you are not in the right spot. Get in the right spot. There you go. All right, here's the Cheerios. Hey, Puck, speak. Speak. Puck's like, where are the Cheerios? Puck, speak. Come on. There you go. Speak. Okay, that was good enough. So, thanks, Keeper. Whee! Make it rain. Q says 14/3/2019's Americans can't get the date format right day. I know. Just let us have this one. Just let us have this one. So, any questions? Go ahead and at me so I can see them. Meanwhile, I'm gonna put this picture up just because this picture makes me really, really, really happy. It makes me happy. Okay, enough of that picture. All right, so I'm gonna scroll back up and look for questions. Go ahead and ask questions now. Do. Larry Weird and Proud asks, can the Chinese turn off their telescreens? I don't think it works that way. In case you guys don't know, Chinese news is heavily controlled by the government and censored and whatnot and so forth. And my friend in Hong Kong essentially described it as being like paternalistic, which really confused the heck out of, me. But that's just how it is. Hanny says, in talking about the Space IL image, it's a very good camera. The moon images should be great. I know, I'm so looking forward to the moon images from Beresheet. And as Veronica had made the comment about, wow, I didn't realize you can launch with kerosene. Chat popped up with DPI replies with rocket grade kerosene is actually pretty common. And yeah, here, as DPI says, here in the US it's called RP1, that's Romeo Papa 1, or Rocket Propellant 1. The Russians call it RG1, that's Romeo Golf 1. I don't know Russian, so I don't know what the RG stands for. And yeah, there are several different types of rocket fuel. I have String Terry asked me, did you see the Earth in the cupola picture? No, I have not. I am so looking forward to this image. Or somewhere with the window on the ISS. If it's a round window with lots of segments, it is indeed the cupola. And I'm scrolling all the way down. Q. I'm just complaining about people calling it Pi Day. It's Pi Day here in the US. I don't know when Cake Day is. Oh, Cake Day, as DPI pointed out, is November 26th. Okay. What's next? Hanny asks, what's next for the Chinese lunar mission? Because I can't pronounce the name of the little craft. I don't know. I'll have to look into it. I do know when I was on the Chinese news sites, I think I had seen something about them turning it over to international control. I guess that means that anybody that wants to collect data now can. So that's cool. And there's some chat about how spacesuits work in swimming pools and so forth. I don't know. Could have been the Twitter of one of the expeditions. How many times have you used blorping and flomping since they've coined these words, Annie? I didn't realize those were words at all. Those are words? Tinker, did you know those were words? Have some Cheerios. Hanny's asked, does that mean anyone can use the far side satellite for communication? I have no idea. I really don't. Ultimate. Oh, you mean MU69. Because that's how we prefer to call it versus Ultima Thule. Lorping and flomping. Okay, I will have to look into those words because they sound like delightful words I need to incorporate into my vocabulary more. And Larry Weird and Proud had a question, so I think I answered his question. When that first new module for... Oh, I missed it. I'm sorry. When is the launch for the first new module for the Chinese space station? I don't think it's this year. I'll have to look up. I'll have to look it up. But that was mentioned on their news. On their news pages. So there was another one. Oh, there's some talk about the EVA suits in space versus the pool. So I don't know how NASA handles it, but I do know that in the Army basic training, the first weapons you handle aren't even functional after you get issued your weapon, I should say. First weapons you handle after you get your functional weapon, which is stored away in the arms room where it should be stored, is called a rubber ducky. And it is an older, probably non-functioning rifle that's just dipped in rubber. I've seen some pictures of like them being all colorful, like blues and reds and greens, but when I went, they were just the older model M14s. They were the M14s A1s with the triangular grip, which is how you can tell the A1s versus the A2s. They were just dipped in black rubber. So we got used to the weight and the feel of the rifle before we actually got to handle our issued rifle. I imagine that there are non-flight suits that are used for diving, and it's simply because I think they have a lot of electrical components in them, and those would all have to be waterproofed. So I imagine that they do something similar. They have working suits that have been altered for use in training. So that's what makes sense to me. Hit your mark, Tinker. Hit your mark. Alright, so this is the last call for questions. While y'all type your questions in, I'll attempt to do the station identification. So, Daily Space is part of CosmoQuest. You can visit our website at CosmoQuest.org, or is it CosmoQuestX.org? CosmoQuest.org. Thank you, Paranor. If the mapping programs are up, you can do science there. Join our Discord. That's where you can ask a whole bunch of questions, get in on, you know, Ticket to Ride games, or Astroneer, or Uno, or even just post spacey memes, or enjoy spacey Legos. As Susie points out, tomorrow morning, Pamela will be on for the SpaceX crew detaching, which Paranor's saying it's 7 a.m. Eastern. I really think it's more like 2 a.m. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Check the internet. We stream... Oh, 2 a.m. was the launch. Okay. I promise I'll get better at this. So we stream Sundays through Fridays at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. That's... changes UTC. Monday through Fridays is Daily Space, your daily news update. Sundays is me colorizing space telescope images. This week I'll be working on finishing up Jupiter. Susie says, checking with Pamela for time now. I think it's 7:30 Eastern Time. It might be 7:30 Eastern Time. As Keeper of Maps points out, daylight savings time in North America changes this weekend. Plan accordingly. Which is exactly why I'm telling you the time zone associated with these shows. Because I think we're just going to stick with the 1 p.m. Eastern Time and not stay with the UTC. Because that just... it makes life more difficult that way. I'm so sorry, guys. I really wish daylight savings time would die in a fire. So yeah, time zones and daylight savings, it makes it hard. Get rid of daylight savings, time zones are easier. And yeah, UTC to ET, that whole conversion changes this weekend, which is why I'm giving you times in Eastern Time. So, okay. So this has been a production and collaboration of PSI, its Planetary Science Institute in Tucson, Arizona, and Youngstown State University in Youngstown, Ohio. Yes, time zones are your friend. Daylight savings time is not. I'm going to scroll up and check to see if there's any more questions, although I didn't really see any. And my dogs are being terrible at hitting their marks. Let's see. Wouldn't all spacesuits be waterproof for water landings? I would hope so, but there's the difference between the EVA suits and the actual flight suits themselves. I don't think they expect the EVA suits. The EVA suit, I'm going to flip back to this picture. The EVA suit does not look comfortable to sit in a spacecraft for a while. And they train for their spacewalks underwater. So I imagine that there would be some sort of waterproofing, but I think the capsule might be waterproof. I really don't know how that works. I really don't. I would probably have to look that up. Scrolling back down. Where is it going to land and how, Hanny's Roar Warp asks. The Dragon capsule? I have no idea how it's going to land or where it's going to land. I have not looked that far up ahead. I know it happens sometime soonish. Like, I know it's going to detach, and I think it's going to take the fast train back to Earth, or the fast route. Oh, DPI answered that. Splashdown 150 kilometers from the coast of Florida with 4 parachutes. There we go. Apparently the space shuttle had a life raft. Okay. That's pretty awesome. Hanny's Vorwarp says, I hope SpaceX gets a lot of good data on how Ripley handles splashdown. Me too, because we don't have any data from Ripley yet. That's all going to be manually downloaded from her once they retrieve her. So I'm kind of excited to see what the data comes back. So this is kind of a big deal, because if Ripley ever comes back from all of Ripley's sensors, then hey, that's one step closer to using the Dragon capsule for human spaceflight. Larry Weird and Proud says, do you know Yuri parachuted out of his spacecraft before it bounced hard on the ground? That was the design in 1962. Oh my goodness. All right, Tinker, I hear you whining. Have some Cheerios. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you have to parachute out of this capsule that's, you know, screaming back to the Earth after you've been to space. Astronauts, test pilots, and cosmonauts are superheroes because nope. All of the nope. Anyways, I'm not seeing any more questions or comments or smart remarks, and my lunch is sitting beside me, and it smells very, very good. Will the splashdown be more comfortable than it is for Soyuz, like Blue Origins? I don't know. I really don't. Yeah, Larry says, Ripley not wireless. She cannot fly for the in-flight abort test then. I don't think they're going to have Ripley for the in-flight abort test. I think... Actually, I don't know. I don't know how that's working. I don't know how any of that's working. I really don't. I had thought for the in-flight abort test would have been like with humans in the capsule, but apparently I'm wrong, and I don't know how any of that's going to work. But yeah, no, Ripley's not wireless. So, yeah. And as Hanny points out, she has been through a lot already. She really has. This solution says, I'll sign up as a rocket test dummy. No, you don't want that job. You don't want that job. Did you guys know that there's a job called where they're now NASA now, is it NASA? Somebody now calls them pillownots, but they're kind of astronaut proxies that lay in bed, I think in the beds at a tilt to simulate anti-gravity, and they have to go through the whole same selection process as astronauts, which I thought was pretty cool. But yeah, you're confined and at this weird tilt in the bed for a while, and yeah, they're totally called pillownots. It was one of the people that had that job started calling it, and then I think when she went back to visit later, they had actually updated it to say things like, to have the signs say like pillownots. So I thought that was a cool thing. So yeah, all right, I guess that's it for today. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you so much for all of your support, your bits, your Patreon pledges, your subscriptions, your donations, all of that goes to keep us running. So yes, we are literally here because of you. Thank you for making that happen. If you can't afford to pledge, subscribe, donate, whatever, give us a follow. Come hang out and chat with us. Join our Discord, chat away. As a reminder, if you ever miss a live stream, we archive them up on YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, come join the fun and join the live stream here on Twitch. So yeah, I will see you guys on Sunday. There will be a daily space and the landing or separation from the spacecraft. That'll be streamed by Pamela. And yeah, so keep being awesome, and I'll see you guys on Sunday. Bye.